that I got. It's very nice, very snuggly, which is a good job because it's very cold. I'm at the bottom of the stairs today rather than the top of the stairs. It's very loud. The heating is making so much noise here, and next to us heating always makes noise. So it's a little bit less loud than it was a minute ago. So think yourself lucky. It was like very loud boiler, and my flatmate seems to have put something on, which is really loud as well, which is going to be in the background. Hang on a minute. Can you turn it down a touch? Thank you. It was Community. I like Community, but I'm in this room, and then I can't see Community. Yes, oh well. Slamming the door because I didn't. Yes, I let the cold in to there, but so I've got all the cold to myself now, because if I open the door to the living room, then all the cold from here in the hallway goes into the living room. So, how's everyone been? I was really excited about the snow earlier. I did a little live stream, if you want to catch that, with me going in the snow in my slippers, which was a silly thing to do. Yeah, especially since I think I woke up, I thought I had a cold earlier on, but then I think what I realised was that I did some dusting. You couldn't hear either. Can't hear me? Can you hear me? Can't hear me. Can you hear me? I don't know. Anyway, it's I don't know what you mean. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Okay, you can hear me. You just can't hear Community in the next room, or the boiler, which it was very loud just before very fortunately it calmed down just as I started this. So I'm not sure why that is. Yeah, that's good. It was yeah, it was loud and I could hear it, and it was distracting me. That's really the main reason. So I went out. Yes, what was I saying? Yes, I thought I had a cold, but I did dusting yesterday because we've got an old chimney, and when it's rainy or windy, all the masonry comes down the chimney and brings all the dirt and probably old dead pigeons and stuff. And oh, I'm going in out of focus there. And all this, I didn't get a dead pigeon. There wasn't a dead pigeon, but there was a lot of masonry, dust and dirt, and sort of cloggy and probably old from when they used to. Why is it going in and out of focus? I don't know why that is. The light is terrible. The light is bad. So I dusted that, and then I thought, well, I've got the dustpan and brush out, so I dusted the kitchen, and I dusted all the. Still going in and out of focus. I dusted all the things, and then I obviously ended up with. I probably should have worn my mask. It should have been a dust mask, but I didn't, and so that's probably why I thought I had a cold, but I didn't have a cold. That's just wondering why it's so. Yes, Basil the rat. Yes, exactly. In that's Faulty Towers, isn't it? I get that. Yeah, I don't know why it's going in and out of focus. I can only apologise. I've got Jerry's not here, but if Jerry does come, he's probably going to say, "Oh, yes, you look rough and you're out of focus," and then I'm like, "Well, I can't help that, and I can't do anything about the light because it's the light. It's the light that's here. I don't know what's happening with it. It's gone really bad, hasn't it? It's just because there's very poor light here. Maybe I can find some better light. I don't think I can, and it's very. Maybe there's some sort of dust on the lens. There you go. I use my blanket to clean. Yeah. So it's not. Most of the snow's melted already now. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to manual focus. Yes, because it's a phone, and that's all I can. Not really. Zooming in and out. Was it zooming in and out? I think it was the light. It's probably the light. Anyway, here I am at the top of the stairs, and the light is terrible. And it's like, oh, you've got massive dark circles. You look like a panda. Well, that's just me. I'm sorry about that. It's nothing I can do about it. I was a little bit like, oh, okay, never mind. Anyway, so the weekend's nearly over. This time of year is Burns Night. Tomorrow, I looked it up. I wasn't ever sure. I thought it was the 24th because usually I go to some friend's house and they, obviously that's not going to happen this year. They usually have a burn supper and I do one of the readings. I've done I've done the toast to the lassies and the laddies, and I did a one to Robbie Burns as well 1 year or 2 years. I've done a lot of Burns night suppers, so I've almost everything. I've done almost all of the ones that you do, and twice or 3 times some of them. But this year, obviously, that's not going to happen at all. I was going to get haggis, and then I thought, well, the only haggis that was reasonably priced was absolutely massive, and it's just me, and I'm trying not to eat meaty stuff. I could have got a vegetarian haggis. I could make a vegetarian haggis, but you know, that's it. So I don't normally eat meat, but at Burns suppers, I'm like, yeah, go on then. Give me the sheep stomach with the oats in it. It's quite nice. So that's my exception. The worst exception, probably. It's like, you don't eat meat, but you eat sheep's stomach? No, sheep's stomach. It's like, well, only once a year, and you get the neeps and tatties and some whiskey with it. 2 years ago, they were giving it. I brought some whiskey to it, the Burn supper, but there was quite a lot of whiskey left over, and the person that was hosting it that year pushed whiskey on everyone. It's like, I don't drink whiskey. He said, here, have some whiskey. So I brought some whiskey home, 2 bottles, and I don't drink whiskey normally. So the 2 bottles were still around last year, and one of them I brought to last year's Burn supper, but I still had one left. And I tried drinking some of it yesterday, and it was very acidic and made me feel a bit ill. And I'm not sure whether it was because it's been hanging around for 2 years. I don't think that should be Philip will know. It's supposed to keep, isn't it? Anyway, I think it was more just that I wasn't feeling very well, probably. But then I poured it out and I didn't use it. And I think it was really good whiskey. I can't remember what it is. I think it was really good whiskey, but it was still there this morning. And because I had a cold, I thought I'll make a hot toddy with the whiskey, which is probably a waste of whiskey and probably not what purists would do. But I put some actual fresh ginger and some lemon juice and some xylitol, and yeah, it was sealed. I don't know, I can't remember. I haven't, it's got a cork in it, and it's been sitting there in the corner. And anyway, I made a hot toddy this morning. Whiskey for breakfast. Yeah, you probably shouldn't have that. And some cinnamon, and that was quite nice, and it made my cold feel like it was going away. It was nice. It was sort of, and then I thought, well, I probably don't have the thing, because I can definitely taste the ginger and the whiskey and all the things. Yes, it could. Well, that's probably what happened, Philip. It was interesting. It was just like, oh, this burns. But it was much nicer with hot water and lemon juice and all sorts of stuff. Sort of adulterated. It was lovely. But I didn't finish drinking it all. But I did have the fresh ginger. I bought some fresh ginger a couple of weeks ago. Actually, I bought it a long time ago. The fresh ginger is lasting, because normally when I buy fresh ginger, it goes all sort of rubbish before I use it. But that's been in the fridge for months, and it's perfectly fine. So that was good. I suppose I should probably freeze it. Cinnamon, yeah. Cinnamon essential oil, I don't have that. It was just dried cinnamon, and it's sort of sunk to the bottom. I had actually got cinnamon sticks, but they're not. Oh no, cassia, which I think in America they call cinnamon, but it's not. It's thicker. I've got cassia. I might have cinnamon sticks somewhere. I should have probably used that to sort of stir it. Have I got cinnamon sticks? I don't know. I've got lots of spices and herbs. I just forget about them. Anyway, that's what I did. And then I was thinking about the hot toddy, and then I wanted to see Victor Victoria, because there's a character in there played by Robert. I can't remember his name. It's like he was in The Music Man. Ooh, Robert. Oh, what's his name? Anyway, there's a character called Toddy in that, so it made me think of that. And I didn't watch Victor Victoria. I think I've got it on DVD, but I don't have a DVD player anymore. I used to have one in my laptop, but I got a new laptop that didn't have a DVD player in it. Robert Preston, that's exactly right. I went blank. Maybe that's bad. Robert Preston, yes, the Music Man, and he was in quite a lot of things. Yay! What? For some reason, I thought he was in Privates on Parade, but that's a completely different actor, a British actor that is sort of similar to Robert Preston. Oh, I can't remember who it is. There's another guy. What's his name? Who was in Privates on Parade? The main guy. It wasn't Robert Preston, was it? No. I'm getting very confused here. Just wrapping up with my blanket. Rambling, as I normally do. So, I think the snow sort of melted, but it's going to be quite icy tomorrow when I'm walking to work. So, that's going to be a bit of a situation. My mum brought me, she got, like, there's snowshoes to put on your shoes many years ago, which I haven't got to use yet, and I don't think I'll get to use them this year because I don't think they fit on my shoes. But it's a nice idea if they're sort of like plasticky, rubbery things, and you stick them on your and it's supposed to stop you slipping. But I think probably what it'll actually do is make me slip more. But I don't know really. So I'm going to be very careful walking to work tomorrow. Wrap up warm. I'll put my mask on, so that'll help. Even if I fall over, maybe that'll stop my jaw from cracking when I fall inevitably to the pavement. Yeah. Oh, did I say about... Yeah, something that happened this week. In my hometown, in Abersucken, there's a wall I used to pass all the time. It was a very high wall, and it looked like it was buckling. It's at the bottom of a hill, a place called Union Street, at the bottom of a hill. And I think years ago, many years before I was born, there was actual shops and things and houses all the way down there, and there was a river running through it called the Avon Fluid. Is it the Avon Fluid? No, the Sucken, which joins the Avon Fluid. There was a sort of a little river, but they covered over the river and put car park on it. And well before that, they got rid of all the houses and shops. So there's just this wall keeping up a whole of a hill, it looked like to me. And it's very, very high, and I'm very nervous of it, and I'd always say, that's going to fall on somebody. I'm walking to the other side of the road every time I pass it, and my mum's like, well, it's been like that for years. I'm like, well, that's more inevitable that it's going to fall eventually. And this week, guess what? It did fall, but fortunately, there was nobody underneath it, but it looked like the whole bank had sort of slid. And, that's interesting because the song Landslide has been playing as an earworm in my head all this week. Coincidence. It's a coincidence. But it was inevitable that it was a very high wall and very old wall and very buckly wall. And when it fell down, you could see all the dirt, and they must have like piled up, because it's a mining area. They must have piled up quite a lot of the slag. That's what the detritus that comes from the mines behind it in the garden. So all the gardens came down, and the only thing that was left was a little garage that had been put in part of it. So the garage stopped that part of the wall from falling, but all the rest of it, I'm not sure how far it was. I just saw a picture, but it was like, and my mum's like, oh, Elise always said that was going to go. It's like, I did. But the thing is, for most of my life, I get deja vu, a lot of deja vu. And every time I get the deja vu, I think that wall's going to come down soon. And I've got deja vu all this week. But I'm thinking, no, what if it's a portent that the deja vu is like, and then that's the end of everything. The wall coming down, falling down, the wall falling down marks the end of everything. That's the end. Nothing after that. Now, this is a couple of days. So obviously this is after that. I'm still here. But it's like, if I'm getting a deja vu, this is what's happening. And all these things it feels like, and I get a sort of like, all these things going through my head. Like, oh, and then that happens, and then this happens, and then the wall falls. And that's, so that's that. So I don't know. It's like, deja vu is like when things happen and, ooh, this has happened before. But I also get sort of a series of other things happening in my mind when I get deja. My deja vu is very sort of like, and then this is going to happen next sort of thing. And it's not a portent of what's going to happen next. It just feels like time ticking it over. Yeah, it is deja vu all over again. So I don't know. It's a strange situation. It's a strange feeling, but maybe I won't get it anymore now the walls fall down. It's not a premonition though, is it? Because none of it really does happen. It just feels like I know what's going to happen next, and it's like, oh, it's like, it's weird because there's like philosophers that say that time doesn't exist and it's all an illusion, and there's others that say it's circular and it comes back on itself. And I feel like I've ticked to it's like I'm living it out of time. You know what I mean? It's a trick of the mind, but it just feels a bit strange. It's like I'm living this again, and it's like, oh, that bit. Oh, yeah, that's bit. Like you're watching a little film, and you go, oh, no, I remember this bit. When that happened, yeah, I remember that. And that's what I get when I get deja vu, which is odd. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Oh, yeah. Peter Davison as the pig that liked to be eaten. That's what I just thought of when you said that. Yeah, because of the restaurant at the end of the universe. End of the universe. The wall that fell down at the end of the universe. Nothing's going to happen after that. For quite a long time in my life, I felt like this is the end of time. Nothing's going to happen like that. It's just the way my brain works. If I don't see beyond something, that's it. I think until then, that is the end of that, and then there's the next batch of time. Like, it's like little chunks of time. And if I see things and I don't know what's beyond it, then that doesn't exist. I did watch Staged, yes. That doesn't exist beyond that. So, like, when I lived in Northampton, there was an industrial estate on my way to work, and it was a sort of walled area, and everything beyond that it was just on the side of the road. It's like that part of Northampton doesn't exist to me. It doesn't exist. And then one time, it went around the corner, and right at the end of it, there was a road that went down. And I went down it once, and there was this oldie worldy pub that had like Skittles, like the sort of Skittles that you throw little wooden balls at, and it was in an alcove, and it was like, it's like another land. It's like, it stops being the town of Northampton. It's a city now, I think, but it was a town then. Stops being the town of Northampton, and beyond that, here be dragons. It's like oldie fashionedy world. So, and I never went beyond that, but I think on my way there, on the other side, like on the road was down, like the road into Northampton was, the motorway was at the bottom of a bank there. So I'd sort of seen that other side of the mountain, or it's not a mountain, it's just a sort of hillock really. I'd seen it, but I didn't connect that part. I think there was like maybe some allotments and things. I didn't connect that with the other side. It was like, that doesn't exist. No, there's nothing beyond that. I'd been beyond that, but it didn't exist in my mind. And that's how I think of time and things that happen. And just, when I'm doing something, it's like, la 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 la, and then there's that. And then nothing happens beyond that. It's like, if I planned very far in advance, that's fine, but it's very much like the Mayan calendar. They did it up until 2012, and then there's nothing beyond that. And it wasn't that nothing existed. Clearly, we're still here. It wasn't that nothing existed beyond that. It's just that's as far as they went. It's like, that'll do. That's far enough. We'll make another one. And they never got around to making the other one. Well, that's how my life feels. It's like, that's, even if I've got a plan far in the future, beyond that, I'm going to make some more plans when I get there. Hopefully, if I get there. Anyway, and then the wall fell down. Yes, your clock battery's gone. Have you lost time, Bohem? You probably have. I feel like I have. Ooh, the end of everything. Time. The end. So, yeah, the Mayan calendar. I've got like a little silver disc with with a Mayan calendar on it. And that's, it's a brooch. I don't know who made it, who got it, where it's from. I don't think it's the Mayans? I don't think the Mayans made it. Is it still March 2020? Oh, probably. I've got that fitness watch that I haven't put on this because it keeps running down, the battery. But my fitness watch has got the wrong time on it. It still says it's 2019. And I'm like, oh, what? If I connect it to my phone, which it sometimes connects to my phone and sometimes doesn't, but you have to connect it to your phone in order to set it and in order to upload the information back to the phone. But if I go away from the phone, it goes back to, if I set it, it's like there. No, I know it's 2021. It's definitely 2021. But then I go away and I look at it again, it's like 2019 again. It's like, So if it hasn't got a Wi-Fi signal or something, I don't know what it is. It's just because it's a cheap watch probably. So that time is not stable. It still thinks it's 2019. And who am I to say that it's not? Maybe it is. Maybe this whole year and a bit has been an illusion. It's not really happened at all. None of it. None of it. And that wall falling down was a sign. Like very much in a lucid dream where you go, oh, this is a dream. I know this is a dream now. And then I can do what I want in this dream. I don't have to be guided by your rules of dream. I know it's a dream. Maybe this is all a lucid dream, and that wall falling down, as I knew it was going to eventually, is a sign, a portent. That's crazy talk. Yes, it is crazy talk. But maybe you can't prove it isn't. Do you exist? Do you know that you exist? Do I exist? See, you can't prove anything because you're looking at me and I'm looking at you. Typing, going, yes, I exist. It's like, but do you? Do I exist? Do you know that? Now, I feel like I exist, but I may not. I may just be a figment of my own imagination, or of your imagination. Whatever I'm doing, that could be you in your brain thinking that that's happening, that I'm doing that. It's like, that's a weird person. Why are they doing that? It's like, but am I doing that? Is it just your mind playing tricks on you? Leading you to think. See, glitch. Glitched. And that is that is a sign. See, glitch. A sign. Oh, I watched Wreck-It Ralph again for, yesterday. Not yesterday, the day before. Glitch. Emma Glitch! Princess Glitch. Anyway, it's cold. It's so cold. I'm going to have to wear a hot water bottle. Oh, wearing a hot water bottle. Hot new fashion hot water bottle. Wear them all over. Just like that. Is it, which is it Ishtar? Which is the one that's got the, Hathor? No, there's a god. I can't remember which one it is. There's a goddess that has like bladders all over her. Which one is that? I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, that's what you could do. Put hot water bottles all over you and go out with the hot water bottles. This is my hot new outfit. So hot. I should probably patent that. Patent leather hot water bottles. Yeah. Maybe not. But nobody else is going to do it. It'll be my hot new take on fashion. Just me. Or I could just wear my blanket out. Lovely blanket. And hot water bottles as well. Blanket and hot water bottles. Fashion forward. I've only got 2 people watching me now. Which 2 are they? Hello, 2 people. Have I driven you away talking about rubbish and nonsense? I'm not surprised, to be honest. 2 people? That's an all-time record low, I think. I can't believe I've driven you away. I should probably just wind it up then, shouldn't I? Wind it up now. I've talked absolute rubbish. So, Bohem and Andy, are you the only people here? Is there anyone else here and they're just not showing? Oh, well, that's 3 people. But it's saying there's only 2. Glitch! That's proof of the glitch. It's all a dream. 3 people replied, exactly. 3 people replied, but 2 people, only 2 people are here, it says. YouTube is lying, as always. Oh, that's something that happened this week. I tried to watch something on YouTube and it said, this is over 18s only. Can you prove you're over 18? Click here. And I'm like, that seems a bit weird. So I clicked it and it wanted credit card information or my passport. And I'm like, that's no better. And I looked it up. I looked it up and that is a thing that YouTube is doing with some people in Europe, European Union and the UK and Gibraltar and the EEA, the whole European area, including Switzerland and Norway and all of that, all of Europe, all of it, all of it. Why? And then I tried to watch something else. I was like, oh well, I just won't watch that. I don't think it was just a film. I don't think it was like 18 rated. They're just like, well, our guidelines say that it's you can't watch it unless you can prove you're over 18. I'm like, what? And then I tried to click on a couple of different things. Like there was a some YouTuber, right? It was like 36 TV characters that should be gay but aren't. And I was like, oh, that looks funny. Oh, that looks fun. So I clicked on that and it said, no, you're not over 18. And I'm like, what? It's just some woman talking about nonsense. What? So they wouldn't let me watch that. So I was like, oh no, because I think Amazon did the same thing, that it put a load of things that weren't really adult content in adult content because of certain keywords. That's a terrible glitch. That's another inevitable proof that everything's gone wrong. Oh, 3 people. It says 3 now, but there's probably 4 of you. I don't know. So I'm really annoyed, so I can't watch things. I haven't got a credit card. I have got a passport, but I'm like, why should I have to prove myself to you, YouTube? For one thing, I've had a Google account, a Gmail account for way more than 18 years. I'm pretty sure, like since the early 2000s. And I've had a YouTube account since 2006. And unless I was like 2 when I started that, then that should prove I've had it for that long. Obviously, I'm over 18. I wasn't a baby when I started the account, was I? Or was I? Yes, I was such a baby. I was tiny. I was a tiny baby when I started YouTube. I'm only 18 now, just. That's not true. Not true. It would be lovely if it was, because my life would just be beginning. Just be starting. But now it's like, but as the wall has shown, that's the end of everything. Portent. I am Cassandra. It is a portent of doom. Everything will end. Infamy. That's the wrong one. Which is the one? It's like, which is the one? I can't remember it. Infamy is the wrong quote. I'm thinking of Up Pompeii, where there's that mad woman saying something that's a bit like infamy. I can't remember what it was. Oh no, doom. Anyway, I should probably go. Yeah, it did look like a scam, the whole YouTube asking, but it's not a scam. It's just annoying. Carry on screaming. No, infamy was Carry On Cleo, because Kenneth Williams was playing Caesar. Infamy. They've all got it infamy. I messed that up. Infamy. They've all got it infamy. Yeah, Lurkio was in Up Pompeii, but there's the Eyes of the Doom. I can't remember what it was. Potentia, maybe. I can't remember, but there was definitely a seer that said something silly. Yes, I am right. I can't remember what it was. That she quoted was saying. But it was Anyway, I'm going to have to look that up now. But I can't do it now. So, that's the end of the weekend. Oh, The weekend's over already. I can't believe it. And I'm looking. I did all that dusting, and I'm looking, going, oh no, more dust. I talked about dust the other week, and I said that it's mostly skin and bits of, and somebody said, oh, actually you'll find it's actually mostly masonry dust. And to be honest, the stuff that came down the chimney was mostly masonry dust, but I looked it up after this yesterday, and I was like, yeah, because apparently 50% of it is actually all like bacteria and bits of old skin, so at least half of it probably was. It is dark matter. It's horrible. So at least 50% of it is just, and especially in this house where it's nowhere. There's not very good ventilation, so it's like years and years and years of dead skin falling on the ground. Lovely, and I can see it from where I am. Going, oh no, it's everywhere. Apparently, it's not dangerous, but it could. It could. Yes, it's stardust. That's what it is. Oh, it's just stardust falling from the ground, falling from us onto the ground. Stardust. La. Ew, horrible. I will go now. Thank you for the four people. Hello, 4 people. I'm going now, though. That's the end of that. I'm going to go and watch something on the television and maybe finish off drinking that hot toddy that I didn't finish drinking, and maybe some tea. Yes. But none of this exists. It's all a big illusion, isn't it? Anyway, I'll see you again soon. Bye. Yes.